Hello and welcome to the new video of Analytical Guy. In this video, we will talk about how you can create the calendars in Microsoft Power BI. As you can see on the screen, we have this particular calendar for particular month filtered out. This time it is June. So for June month, you can see from 1st of June till 30th of June, what are the expenses or investments or shopping done for each and every date. Whatever is highlighted is coming from the filter of category. So for example, you just want to highlight the investments, so you just select investments and you will see the investments done for that particular month. But if you want to include, let's say, shopping with investments, you will just select shopping as well and you will see it is coming. But right now there is no shopping done in this particular month, so nothing is there. So if you include, let's say, eating out, so you can see you have 3 dates where you have done investments and 3 dates on which you have done had your lunch or dinner outside, right? So you can do this for any month. You can select May month, you can select April month. For each and every category it will come in out for this. So how we can create this? First of all, we have to understand the data, and very importantly, you can use any kind of data. For example, you are a marketing analyst, for example, and you want to schedule a budget for your company for a month, for quarter, or an year. You can easily create this calendar in Power BI, and you can see the expenses like ATL, BTL activity, cost, and everything. Or let's say you want to understand the ATL, BTL strategy for each and every state, and you want to put in the calendar, you can do that as well. So here you can see you have the commentary like context and then the amount for that particular header, right? So it is very interesting to know how we can create this. So let's get started. So first of all, let's try to understand the data. And you have the date, then category, then you have subcategory, and then amount for each and every subcategory. So this data is from January 2023 until December 2023. So this is 1 year data. So you can have in years of data, you can have 5 years, 10 years, and then correspondingly you can do that. And we have categories such as expenses, eating out, investment, shopping, tourism. So in this case, eating out is not considered an expense, it's just a category. You can easily create your own data, and eating out can be in your expense depending on your strategy. Shopping can also be an expense. So currently there are 5 categories. Subcategories are apparel, Australia trip, dinner, electricity bill, equity stocks, grocery, household lunch, etc, etc. So these are subcategory, and this is my amount in dollars, right? So now you know this is my data, and it is very easy to import the data from Excel, CSV, or any other data source to Power BI. So let's go to new Power BI dashboard and create this from scratch. So this is the new Power BI dashboard, and here I have already input the data here. So if you see here, I have the same data set from January until December. So this is my 12 months data, expenses, subcategory, and this is my amount. And here you can see amount is not in dollars. So what I can do is I can change the data type from here. From here I can just select dollar, right? So now you can see it is coming in dollars, right? So this was my first change. Now second is I have to create a date table. So I need to create a date table that can connect with this table, right? So this is the generic formula, like whenever you work on Power BI, you need to have a date table, right? So what I'll do is I'll go to date table tools, create a new table, and now here I will create a date table. Right now, to understand, I'll just copy what I created here. So I'll just shorten this, and over here this is my calendar, right? So this is my date table. I'll just paste it over here. So this is my calendar. What is my table? This is starting from January 1st 2023 to 31st December 2023. So this is my calculate table, right? And what is my calendar? So these are 2 variables I've created, var cal table and var my cal. So when you are adding the columns from here, so in this particular table, so this is my calendar table, in this I'm adding these columns. So index is a new column where I'm adding the index is a date coming from month function. Same day name is coming from date, so I'll just extract the date from my date. So that is through formatting of date using DDD. Similarly, you can extract year like YYYY, and month is triple M, right? Now if you want to extract day from date is using just D. Similarly, for week and day number, we will use week num and weekday as my function. Using week num on date and comma 2, this will give me week. And similarly in weekday, it will give me just like this. All right, and now I will return my cal. Once I do this and press enter, this will create a calendar table, or you can say date table. So now let's see, this is created. All right, so now you can see here my date is there, index, day name, day, month, week, year, day number. So you'll see year should be just 2023, right? So now my date table is created. I'll go to model view and connect these two. So I'll just drag and drop to date so that these two are connected, and this should not be one to one. It can be many to one because it will always have one instance in calendar, but it can have multiple instances in year expense calendar, right? So this will be many to one, save, and yeah, so this is what it is done. So I'll just have calendar over here and this is over here, and direction should be just unidirectional. I'll just do single. All right, so now what this means is my calendar table will filter out year expense calendar. This is my raw data, right? So this calendar will filter out this. Now this is done. Now if I go to my front end and have the metrics table, right here, I will have my day name in my column and week in my rows, right? So now you can see I have Monday to Sunday, everything is here in on the column side and weeks in the row side. This is what we wanted. Now if I have a slicer of a month, now if I select December, so it will filter out for December. I can see week 49, 50, 51, 52, 53. For January, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So currently, if everything is working, right? So now, very important part is we have to get the values for each and every cell. For example, week 45 and Friday, what is the expense or investment or whatever was done? What is that? So I need a date, right? So date is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 30, 31. I need the text, for example, transport bill, expense, investment in stocks, whatever is the commentary, that context I want to add. Third is the amount. So there are three things that I want to add in each cell. That is date number. Second is the text. Third is the amount, right? So for example, let's say I want to go for, if I go to year expense calendar, let's say I want to check for January 3rd, right? So this is my week 1, right? January 3rd should be metro bus travel and $5. So if I go to January and week 1, and let's say 3rd is, let's say, Saturday, right? So here in Saturday, it should come metro travel and $5, right? So it should come like this. So we have to create a DAX for that, right? So how we can create that? If I go back and see my main measure, so this is my main measure, right? So I'll explain you how I created this. There are three aspects in this. This is my current date, then I have this text, then I have this amount. So these are the three parameters that we have to add. But you can see here I want to add the current date as well. So current date is my particular date on what we are calculating. So current date is selected value, as we can see from the calendar. So if I go and copy this, first of all, let me just create a new table and let's call it measures equal to and enter. So this will create a blank table and all the measures I'll store here. And let's say this is my current date equal to, all right, I already pasted this. So this is my selected value on calendar. Calendar is my date table, right? So from date table, take that day on which particular selection is done, right? So this will give me that particular date. So let's say if I add this current date in these values of metrics, what will happen? See, so now we already have the dates, right? So first, one more thing, we have to sort this, right? So it should be 1, 2, 3. It should be sorted, right? It's not coming in sorted manner. First of all, I need to sort the weeks. So how I can sort the weeks? I'll just go back to the calendar. This is my week day name, right? So it can be sorted on the basis of my day, right? No, it should be sorted on the basis of day number, right? So I'll just go here, day name, sort by column, and it should be day number, right? And if I go back, you'll see here it is sorted Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now my date starts from Sunday 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 until 31. Now I don't need these totals, right? So in format your visuals, I'll just unselect this and row subtotals as well. So now you can see it somewhat looks like my calendar already, right? So I have months, I have weeks, I have dates. Now I want to add the text as well as my amounts in each and every dates, right? So now if I go back and add my main measure, so if I go back and here create new measure, let's say this is my main measure again. So this is my current day and this is my date here, right? So let me just add the comments. This is my parameter 1, that is current day, right? This is my parameter 2, that is my category text, right? And this is my parameter 3, that is amount for the corresponding category. All right. So these are the three things that I want to add. So you have already seen if I add the current date in this, it will give me 1, 2, 3 until 30, 31, whatever is the month, right? This and will concatenate with the parameter 2, right? And what is my parameter 2? It is the text. It is the category which is coming in. I want to add the subcategory, for example, the investment in stocks, shopping, or whatever is there. So what I'll use is concatenate X. So if you are unaware of concatenate X, I have already included this in my previous videos. I'll share the link. Also, I have added this in my DAX course. So if you're unaware of how to use DAX in a proper manner, you can refer that DAX course. It is really end to end. You can understand everything in DAX, right? So in concatenate X, we will first add a parameter called table. So we are using table year expense calendar. From this table, we are using this column, subcategory column, and then using the comma to separate any subcategory over there. And what is the purpose of unichar? Unichar 10 is a line. It adds a line in the next one, right? And what is rept? So this is a repetition of unichar twice. So when I'm adding the parameter 2 in rept, that means it will give me this 2 line space. So when I add the parameter 1, then there are 2 line space, then parameter 2, and then there is 1 line space, and then there is the amount, right? And now what is the concept of amount? I want the amount of year expense calendar amount, and it should be the sum, right? So this is the way you add in the DAX. And I want to add the dollar sign. So in case, let's say I don't use this, I comment this and add sum of amount, right? So this should be the direct approach. Let's see what it does. Now you have understood there are 3 parameters. I'll add this main measure in this visual. So I'll just remove the current date and add the main measure. Right now you can see here, for each and every date, one, there is mutual fund investment, that is 200. There is nothing done on 2nd of January, so it's blank. Third is metro bus travel 5, dinner 100. So I can see there is a space between 8 and metro, right? Because we did repetition of unichar 10, right? Between parameter 2 and 3 there is no repetition, there is just a 1 line gap, so it is coming in the next line, right? So if you want more space, you can add more unichar 10 and it can be done. Here you can see the amount is not coming with dollar sign, right? For the same thing I used this. So whenever the amount is greater than 0, include dollar, right? And then it's done. For example, if I add dollar here, dollar, and this, so it will include dollar, but it will include dollar in all the blanks as well. So you can see it is $100, $200, but it is giving me dollars wherever the amount is also not present. So this is not correct, right? So I just want to include dollar wherever the amount is greater than 0. So this is why I have used the if. So I'll just remove this, and this is the correct measure. So now you can see everything is working perfectly fine till now. So if I do June, and it is coming correctly, November, everything is perfect. So what is missing here? There are 2 things that is missing. First is, it is not looking like a calendar because it is not formatted, it is not aesthetically pleasing. Second, it is not giving me conditional formatting on the basis of category. For example, if I filter shopping, it should show me shopping highlighted, right? If I filter, let's say, expenses, so it should only highlight the expenses done, right? So first of all, let me just add this month on the top. So if I go on slicer setting, it will be tiles, and then expand this in the horizontal axis, and then drag it over here, right? So now this is on the top. Now I want a filter of category which can filter out this. One way is to use the category coming from the year expense calendar, but this is not correct. So if I select shopping, so what it does is it will give me just shopping filters, it will remove everything else, right? Let me just select March, and there is no shopping in March, so it's blank. Investments is then, so it will show me just investments, rest everything is blank. So this is incorrect. What I'll do is I'll create a unique list of all the categories. So if I go here, so if you see here, there are 5 categories, right? So I want to list out the unique list from this category. How we can use this? So there is this one function. So let me just go to table tools, create new table. So I'll just use unique category. So I'll just use all no blank row. So this is a function that returns all the rows except blank row in a table, or all the values in a column, ignoring any filters that might have been applied. So here I'll just use the column category from year expense calendar. This will give me just the unique values. It will not repeat the categories. So here you can see investment, expense, eating out, shopping, tourism. There are the 5 categories, right? So I've created this. If you go to data model, so you will see this is disconnected. It's not connected to the model, right? So this is what I expect. Now I want this category over here, right? So I'll use this category instead, right? Again, if I use shopping, it is not filtering, right? I don't want to filter right now, because what I want is, it should not filter out the categories here, but it should highlight whenever I select shopping. It should highlight whatever is the shopping, right? So it will remain the same. Just when I select shopping, it will highlight only the shopping cells. So for that, let's come to the third and the last part of this video, that is conditional formatting, right? So as you know, if you created conditional formatting and add this, for example, in my cell elements, and click on of background color, and here you just need to add the field value over here, right? So once I create the conditional formatting and add over here, it will give me the conditional formatting. So what is the logic behind conditional formatting? Let's just go back here and see what I have done here. So what I'm taking is, there are 2 things that I have to consider. So one is selected events. So what is that? So if you select from the unique categories that I've taken, unique categories are all the 5 categories, like investment, expenses, shopping, for example. So these are the category values coming in selected events, and current event is the selected event over there. So coming from all the categories in the year expense calendar, it will be multiple, right? So what I'm saying is, return the values whenever the 2 events are intersecting. So when you create a Venn diagram, right, and in Venn diagram there is an intersection and there are unique rows, whenever that is true, then count them. If the count is greater than 1, greater than equal to 1, I mean if at least 1 is there in the intersection, then give me the color, right? Otherwise no need to do anything, right? So let's go here and create a new measure. So conditional formatting, first let's create a variable. Let's say current category is equal to values of my unique category, right? Another variable is selected category is equal to values coming from my main table category, right? Now I know I have already created 2 variables. I want to return intersect of these 2 variables, current and selected, right? Whenever there is intersection, right, do the count of them, right? Once you do intersection, once you do count, if the count is greater than equal to 1, so if this is true, then give me particular color, right? That's it, nothing else. So here let's say, first let's go with FFFFF, right? Now here I'll go to my cell elements, background color on, it should be field value, and it should be conditional formatting, and press OK. And if I click on investments, so you can see investments are equity, it is coming in white because I have selected FFF as my color, right? So now let's see very interesting aspect. If I go to my Google, click on google.com, and let's say hex colors for, let's say, pink shade. So these are the shades of pink and these are the hex code. Let's say I want to use this color, so I'll use this, right? I'll Power BI and add this hex color and press enter. Right, so this is how you can select. For example, I'll select now investment and expenses. Oops. Yeah, so expenses and investments, you can see these are all selected. If I want to add eating out, I'll select this as well. Oops, sorry for that. So these three things are done. If I want to add tourism, I want to add shopping, whatever, right? So if I go to July month and I want to add tourism, shopping, everything is selected. I just want to have investments, so I'll select this and everything is here, right? So this is how everything is done. Now the last part is to make it beautiful. Logic is done. We have created the calendar, but it is not still looking like a calendar. First is I'll try to incorporate couple of fonts and the text type, and you can incorporate that. And if you want to have even further enhancement on the calendar, you can watch the DAX course. I'll share the link of that, and you can create even impactful and more advanced calendars. So now let's go to my formatting your visuals, and I want to format the column headers. First of all, it should be, let's say, DIN, or let's say Consolos, and make it bold. Text type is black is fine. Make in the format as, let's say, 14 or 16. 16 is good. Yep. And then I'll go to row headers. Same with headers, make it bold, make in middle, and text type is 9. Font can be Georgia, and it can be 12. Yep, so this is good, and you don't want icons plus minus, so that's fine. Now let's go to cell elements. Before that, let's go to values, and let's try to increase the font. I think 11 is good. Yep. And if you want to make it bold, I think bold is not required. Make it italic. Text can be, let's say, white. Yep. So alternate also can be white. And background, let's say it is the dark of gray on the both side, right? So this is done, right? So this is still looking better. Now if I want to have the border in this, go to effects, click on the visual border. Let's say I want to create a border of, let's say, color of this. Make 7 as rounded corners, width is 3 sufficient. You can select the shadow if you wanna. So this is how it should be. Alright, so you can add the background color for this as well, and it can be like this. Alright, and now one more thing, if you go to the column headers, the background again should be this, so that it blends with the background in this as well. Alright, and now you can change the text color to white, and in the column as well, text as white. Right, so now this is still looking like a calendar. Now here in values, this is done. Specific column, this is also not required. So yeah, so this is fine. So now I can go from month to month, and I can see whatever is highlighted is investments. If I want to see shopping, that's just one shopping. If I want to see expenses, these are all expenses. So you can see the blend is looking good. I want to change the font and color for that as well. I'll go to effect, visual border is on, color is, let's say this, rounded 7, width is 3 again, right? So I can reduce this. I can make it in the middle if you wanna, and make it even bigger. All right, so now there are so many things you can do. You can change the background of this. You can add the image from wallpaper, right? So you can browse for image, whatever the background you want, and you can create that. But basically, when you're creating the calendar in Power BI, there are three most important things. First is creating a date table. For that, I have already shared the link. You can see the description. Second is working on DAX. That is the main measure. So this is really important. Understanding how you can create three different parameters and add in the one cell itself. So there are three parameters. You can add one more parameter here, right? So for that, you need to select and. With and, the DAX query will understand then there is another text or value that has to be concatenated with the existing text, right? So for example, I create, let's say, again create a sum of it, right? So it will repeat. So if I do this, it will come twice the amount. See, $5, $5. And now if I go back and over here add unique char, because it's coming together, right? If I add here unique char, so now it will come in the next line. Metro $5, $5, right? Wi-Fi $60, $60. So this is really important for us to understand how you can use DAX to create to have multiple text in one cell itself, right? So second is DAX, as we are discussing. Third is conditional formatting. So conditional formatting changes a lot when you are selecting a particular category. So you're conditionally changing the background of those cells for which the category is selected, right? So I have selected shopping, so only shopping is selected, and it is really important in marketing landscape as well. So if you are a marketing analyst or marketing manager and you want to create a calendar for your budgets, you just want to see for that particular month what are my ATL budgets, ATL activities done on which dates and what was the amount. So you will select just ATL and see which all dates it happened, right? So this is really interesting and impactful. You can use these in your presentation decks while presenting on the stakeholders shelf, right? So it is really important for you to understand the understanding of DAX, how it works, right? So for that, I would really suggest you to go to DAX course, and it is really useful. It will help you to understand from the in-depth understanding, like how it works actually, right? So in case you have any challenge, just comment below and let me know how you liked it. And if you like these kind of videos, let me know. Please subscribe and share with all your friends. Thank you.